as requested, the legend of the music of the legend of Vox Machina. That felt like a tongue twister. Welcome back, folks, to another video. Sending out a lot of love. And yeah, let's get into this video. If you want me to react to anything, you know, leave it down below. Hopefully there's no spoilers in here. I don't know what to expect from this, but let's watch.
If you have a good sound system, get it ready. Get on the TV, crank the volume up.
When the music kicks in, it's epic.
It's the final cherry on top.
I think everyone's gonna love the ride that the show takes you on.
That just sounds so good.
Just like seeing a lot of the art come out of the design teams and the background artists and the animators, hearing character themes, hearing intense moments of our story being giving its original score. It's incredible. It gives goosebumps instantaneously.
You know, it's funny, I didn't really think that I was that familiar with Neil Apree's music before he signed on to the project, but it turns out I really was. You've heard Neil's music if you've ever played any of the games that he is so well known for.
I worked for many years on the Stargate franchise, and then at some point got an opportunity to write music for video games, and that meant World of Warcraft, and that led to StarCraft 2 and Diablo 3 and Overwatch eventually. It's great to work with people who are good at...
Okay, so I think I probably heard his work in Overwatch and World of Warcraft, but not anything else. Oh, maybe Diablo, yeah.
At their jobs, of course, but it's even more spectacular when you can work with someone whose enthusiasm for your project makes it not your project anymore, it's our project.
I'm glad I seen this picture because I was like, yo, he kind of looks like thick Matthew Mercer. Different facial structure and eyebrows and stuff, but thick Mercer.
He's a true collaborator in that sense that we are making something together.
When I first heard about the Kickstarter,
Dope.
I knew right away I had to be involved in some way. It's the kind of project my entire career has been preparing me for. At that moment, I realized I can talk all I want about this, but the only way to really convey my enthusiasm is to do it through music.
Unbeknownst to us, Neil, on his own, scored a variation of what he called sort of the Critical Role theme, bringing in elements from previous versions, but also just building the size of the sound to show what could be possible.
I went all in, hired an orchestra, recorded it, sent it to Sam and said, this is just my way of saying thank you for considering me.
It hit our inbox, and I think I stood in the kitchen with a glass of water and listened to it about 37 times. It was one of the first moments where we really realized what could be possible with how we deliver this show. Neil knows our show. He knew the characters, he knew what the world was like, he knew what the different areas of Exandria were, and he was already talking about different themes for different locations.
Neil has such an epic grasp of fantasy, but it's also grounded and modern, which is exactly what we need, because Legend of Vox Machina is not a period piece, it is not historical, it is a modern fantasy.
Matt's vision for the world that these characters run around in is so sweeping and gorgeous, and Neil's music meets that.
He's made music.
It matches that. I didn't want to be pausing too much because some people don't like that, but you know, for a video like this, I don't want to wait all the way to the end and try to deliver everything that I'm thinking about. But what I was gonna say with what Marisha said, that is like, it's crazy. Like, the thing just running in my head right now is just it's amazing what you can do when so many people with passion come together. Just like it's like passion meets passion meets passion meets passion meets passion, and you just get so many dope people with the right hearts and the right minds. Because I feel like to get something accomplished like this done, it has to be some sort of, and I don't want to say like hive mind, but I've said it in my previous reactions to them, is that it's like a family building on a family, and including everybody that watch them. It's like just, I don't know. It's this weird effect that I've noticed with Critical Role that I think I've never seen. I'm trying to think of like what I've seen. It's just like the sheer scale of Critical Role is like it's wild. It's like I don't even know, but it'll make I'll connect it and make more sense as I get more through it.
For all kinds of different genres, electronic music and classical music.
He creates these really unique sounds. We're really lucky to have him on this team.
That shit goes hard.
Instead of adapting the RPG, I'm adapting the cinematic influences that they had when they created these moments. I get in front of a keyboard and I start playing along, and it's kind of become this intuitive thing where it's kind of a puzzle. The acting and the pacing of the scene are clues that'll help get you halfway there, but then finding these threads that will tie the entire season together. I write all my music on keyboard, and that means using computers to trigger sounds. So if I play a note on the keyboard, I'll hear a violin sound or a French horn sound or a drum sound, and that allows me to create a mock-up of the music as it's going to be recorded by the orchestra before we even get musicians to record it.
Oh, that's so clean. That is clean. That is so clean.
I had the chance to bring in some longtime collaborators like Tina Guo. Paul Cartwright is playing fiddle. Kristen Nigas playing woodwinds. The orchestra we're working with is the Budapest Scoring Orchestra in Budapest, Hungary. And for the main title, I brought in bagpipe player Eric Rigler. He played on Titanic and Braveheart.
Oh, Braveheart.
The one thing I knew.
Okay. What? Wait, hang on. That like battle theme or whatever just happened was so fucking hard. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I had the chance to bring in some longtime collaborators like Tina Guo. Paul Cartwright is playing fiddle.
I'm trying not to get way too excited, but that shit is crazy.
Bring in some longtime collaborators like Tina Guo.
It's like the boom, 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 and then the fucking win. That mixes so well.
I had the chance to bring in some longtime collaborators like Tina Guo. Paul Cartwright is.
Oh my gosh, being a dancer, since I've naturally been a dancer my entire life, I can like feel this shit in my anatomy. That
is main title. I brought in bagpipe player Eric Rigler. He played on Titanic and Braveheart.
Sadly, I can't speak for anyone that like I've seen introduced. I'm sure that they are well experts in their craft and well-crafted experts in their craft, but shit, it comes together, and shouts out to them for doing what they love and stuff like that, because I really don't know who they are, but still much respect for being able to be a part of this and make it the shit that it is, because
the one thing I knew starting out is that Your Turn to Roll theme had to be a presence in the score.
Yeah.
The adventure begins. They were always beside you.
Both as a fan of it myself, and I knew it's something that the fans would want to hear.
Your Turn to Roll is really the song that we have built most of the second campaign around, but there are elements of it now that are just associated with Critical Role as a brand. So we wanted to implement that, if we could, in a smart way that would make fans of the show smile.
He's taken some elements of the Critical Role theme song and shifted and adapted and rearranged it so that it fits into the world of The Legend of Vox Machina.
In moments of action, humor, sadness, Neil will brilliantly weave these notes from that song in.
If you are a music nerd, you're going to catch a lot of wonderful little nods.
It's there as much as I can get it in. I've tried to do my best to build upon that and take it into new adventures.
This isn't just your mom and dad's fantasy series. It's not all one musical genre.
And yeah, and I noticed that. You know what's crazy? I feel like that is just something you pick up. That's what I'm saying. Like, Critical Role is definitely like a different built fantasy like thing. Like, it's almost like, or it's like weird. It's like Exandria and everything is like, how do I put it? It's like you, Matt and everyone involved had to really have the vision to bring something like so amazing like this together, if that makes sense. For like how I'm trying to, man, I'm just expressing whatever. But what I have to say about this song, I'm even fighting going back, and I'm just trying to let the rest of the video play. First of all, when I heard that theme song and seen it, it's like at the part that it popped up in campaign 2, I lost my absolute shit. And those of you who follow me on Instagram may have seen that shit on my story as soon as I ran into it. I lost my absolute mind. That shit went so hard. I fucking immediately called my bro and was like, bro, do you hear this shit? This is the most fire song I think I've ever heard. Just like for like, and what made it better was all the fuel behind it. Like, it's not like the craziest, the deepest lyrics and stuff like that, but when you take in account all the like emotion and everything behind the idea building up to a creation like that, the characters and everything, I think it just added like a fucking I was gonna say it added a modifier to it. I was gonna say add your D6 or some shit, but it added so much. Like listening to it, knowing Ford and the rest of the characters, Jester, Yasha, Bo, fucking Caleb. I gotta say them all. Not Caduceus and Rip Molly, and even the rest. Like, it's just like the rest is like Twiggy and them who came on, but it just hit different hearing that fucking song. I don't know, it hit different. I don't have words to express how clean that was. But let's continue.
We're bringing in a much wider breadth of musical influences that makes it
Sick.
Way more interesting in my mind than just sticking to one genre.
The characters of Vox Machina have such clearly defined personalities, and I've tried to find ways to connect musically with those. To me, Grog is heavy metal.
Heavy metal, yeah, okay.
Pike and Keyleth, I've approached both with a similar kind of flute and choir. Percy, a little bit of a classical operatic approach.
Yeah,
Vax and Vex have this gracefulness to them.
Yep.
So I've been handling that with strings playing this kind of classical waltz.
Okay, so that may make, I don't know if that may confuse some of you of why I'm like saying yes, or because I'm like, I haven't even watched campaign 1. I just started it though, but the reason I'm saying yeah is because for me, it's the look. Like, exactly what he's describing right there is exactly what I would pick up if I was to put music to a character. Like, I think I've said this in certain things I react to, and like I've like not in videos, but certain builds and the way characters look seems like a certain sound should be behind that. Almost like if you could do it either way. Like, say you've seen me and I had like damn, I was gonna make a cool analogy where I was gonna say, like, if you've seen the way I dress, like, what would you see? Like, for example, I think me and my parents maybe a couple years ago were heading to the city, and I was wearing something like this, you know, just normal. But, right, something about me screamed dancer to a random lady who just asked me. She was like, "You're a dancer, aren't you?" And I was like, "What?" So this is what that's kind of reminding me of. I feel like it's like it works together. You have a certain sound, like if you can, like, say you heard trumpets and loud, like kind of like, for what we're built to, believe, royalty, like the trumpets, like the doo, like big orchestral events happening. Could you imagine that event as a person? And then like he said for Grog, heavy metal. Could you imagine heavy metal as a person if you never seen Grog? I hope that kind of makes sense. So it's kind of like the whole dancer thing was kind of like supposed to be like, can you, like, from something, imagine it in different fields? I don't know where I was going with that, but it would have been just better if I said, if you seen me in a suit of armor and I had a sword and like maybe like some healing paladin symbol on my shield, what would you think my theme song sound like? And if it was like all holy and stuff, could you imagine that sound as a person? Okay, it makes a lot of sense to me, but I'm not making it make sense right now. I don't know, maybe.
I remember when I first started working on the show, I was trying to find the voice and kind of define some parameters. And then at one point, Sam...
And actually coming back, I'll run this back so I don't fuck it up, but and seeing the characters from the animated trailer that I watched and seeing them do that live performance, I picked that up on the characters like right away, what their theme song would like sound like. And there's other games that do it too, but I can't think of them. And some games just like group all the characters. Like for example, Apex Legends, each season had a different like ascension, metamorphosis. Each of the theme songs sounded like what that event or that time period should sound like.
With strings playing this kind of classical waltz. I remember when I first started working on the show, I was trying to find the voice and kind of define some parameters. And then at one point, Sam asked me to write a heavy metal piece where Scanlan's playing the lute and it turns into a heavy metal guitar. And I'm like, all the rules are out the window. Scanlan really opened up the musical Pandora's box with the songs that Sam and Peter wrote.
Scanlan's music serves all kinds of different purposes. In a practical sense, his singing and music activates his magical powers. But the main point of the Scanlan songs, for me anyway, is just to make people laugh.
It was very important to us in the beginning that The Legend of Vox Machina have the balance between emotional moments and comedic moments.
If it was just sweeping music and beautiful vistas, it wouldn't be us. We're a bunch of dumb fucks. So Sam grounds us in reality that way. Boy, Sam in reality. That's a comparison I've never made before.
In the campaign, I used to spoof top 40 hits from the radio, but for the series, we decided to make Scanlan's music completely original. And so me, along with my brother-in-law, Peter Habib, have composed a brand new set of Scanlan originals.
There's a lot of personality with this character. He's got his own voice, so we've got to use that voice to further along the plot and to entertain.
The dynamic between Sam and Peter is amazing, and the result has been nothing short of spectacular.
They're short little songs that are just really well written and are funny.
We keep laughing because not only is it hilarious, but it makes sense and it fits and it elevates the narrative.
While most of them will make you laugh, they're also a jam.
They have no right to be so good. You want them to be stupid because of Scanlan, but they're so catchy.
Every time a new one gets shared, my heart, like the Grinch, grows 2 or 3 sizes.
It's been liberating to be able to work on a show where it exists in this fantasy world. It leads you down a lot of paths that you might not have ordinarily taken.
The songs of Scanlan Shorthalt definitely bring to life facets of that odd combination of classic fantasy and modern slapdickery. I have no other way to really explain it.
Through the course of Sam and I writing these wild songs.
And I feel like that is really just the explanation of anything I've watched so far, Critical Role and like fantasy in general. I feel like fantasy gives you so much wiggle room, and the reason I actually referenced dance is because I wanted to make this point that I kind of like about fantasy. And what I think is, first of all, there should be no rules. And I actually watched, if any of you are familiar with the dancers Lay Twins, not sure, but they just did an interview where they said something that I've been saying for years. If you think you're a bad dancer, you're not. There's no such thing. There should be no rules and restraints to dance. It's freedom of expression, and you're an artist. They are artists, all of them, creating this world, these songs, and even how Matt couldn't explain like what this is, like, but I know the feeling, like how I'm saying, like I'm at a loss for words, but it's just like there should be no rules to any of this. Shouldn't feel like there's anything that you shouldn't expect anything going into it. You should just let creativity flow.
I've gotten a lot of insight into what a dirty birdie he is.
My toe is going in and out. Gonna make you twist and shout. That rhymes, and it's dirty.
I knew they.
Oh my gosh. Did he just say he's gonna stick his toe in and make you twist and shout? What?
Insight into what a dirty birdie he is.
My toe is going in and out. Gonna make you twist and shout.
Sam is easily becoming increasingly my fucking favorite person. Jesus Christ.
Rhymes, and it's dirty.
I knew they were going to be
I
extra.
love how Sam is just, it rhymes and it's dirty.
But they've gone super, super extra. Possibly one of the big reasons why this is going to be a very adult cartoon.
We touched on a lot of different musical styles and genres. Everything from a little bit of a hip hop edge to a funk and a soul edge to a country kind of style.
There are absurd songs, and there are heartfelt songs.
It's magic.
Good. It should be magic.
The creative outlets are flooded completely open with this show.
In my career, I've had the chance to work on a lot of very beloved franchises. So I understand what it means to take the story and to try to deliver the best I can to help bring it to the fans, to bring it to a new audience. And I just want to make this the best it can be.
Folks, we've given a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the last couple years of music that we've generated for this show. My hope is that it brings the world that you guys know so well to another level.
To get to contribute to this, to be a part of this story, is a huge honor, and I hope that everyone enjoys the show as much as we've all enjoyed working on it.
That shit's so different. That is so fun. Oh my gosh. That is so heat. So I hopefully I nailed exactly what you guys were looking for in a reaction. What I'll say is, about them talking about how it's going to be a really adult cartoon. That's what I like a lot. Like, I seen an animated thing that I reacted to recently where somebody said, oh, I love how they can do a violent cartoon without cursing, and it said unlike Critical Role. And I was just like, wow, like, why the like like commented that on another animated series that has nothing to do with Critical Role. And I was just like, haters are going to hate. I actually just totally forgot how I said that. It was like, they talked about like cursing or something like that. I don't know why that just slipped my mind. I shouldn't have been trying to multitask right there. I was kind of clicking through the video. But other than that, you guys know I'm absolutely invested in this world. I feel a little bit slow. Like I forget. Like no, I won't say that because I was gonna say something about the songs, but it seems like they're putting in a lot of work for this fucking. Or well, I'm assuming the cartoon comes out November of next year, or not November of next year, February. Is it? Wait, when does it come out? Fuck. Oh my gosh. Wait. I completely forgot. February 4th. Yeah, okay. Okay, February 4th. I said November because of something else. But it's and that thing was this year, but February 4th. Okay. So yeah, I don't have really much more to say. I just love it all. I don't even have words. Everything I said is pretty much the words. Like it's great. I can't wait for the show. At first I was gonna wait till February 4th and not watch Vox Machina, but I got talked into it. Peer pressure, you guys. Peer pressure. Nah. But hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.